one, I just wanted to touch bases with you about the weather here in Indiana. It's freezing outside right now, so we're trying to stay warm. But we just wanted to kind of come at you guys with our top 5 rides that we love.
Yeah. So we're just going to give you our top 5, and we have 2 that are honorable mention. Do you want to start out with honorable mention, or do you want to start out with our 5th one and go from there, and then say our honorable mention?
We'll just start out with our top 5 and then go from there.
Okay. So we're going to tell you kind of like why we like these rides. It may not be the most thrilling ride, the most popular rides on my list at least.
Yeah.
We have not, we haven't showed each other our list. So we did write these down. So, we know what each other's top ride is because we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're just going to kind of see how our lists compare. And hopefully they won't be the same this time like they were with the resort. So. Yeah.
So, and guys, these are just our top 5. We're not saying that they're the best rides out there that you need to go and ride these rides.
Yeah.
So your guys' top 5 may differ from ours. And that's okay.
Yeah.
So it's just what we like and what we love.
Yeah, they may be different, so don't judge us on. We'll just kind of tell you why we like it. So, do you want to go first?
No, you can go first.
All right. So my number 5 is Haunted Mansion, and I know some of you are probably thinking Haunted Mansion is her 5. Like, why is it not up there? Well,
Yeah,
I love
ride.
Haunted Mansion. Do not get me wrong. Like, it's a must do every time we go to the park. But I just don't think it. Like, I have things that are more important to me than Haunted Mansion. I think Haunted Mansion is great because it never changes. I think it's great that, when I was 5, my grandparents drug me on that ride because I didn't want to go in there because I thought it was scary. It is scary and intimidating from the outside. You would never guess, like, how cool it is inside of it.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of, like, intimidated. I can, like, as a kid, I was just like, okay, I'm not going in there. And the girl was like, oh, yes, you are. And she's like, Mickey wouldn't make anything that would hurt you, so you got to go on it. So I went on it. Loved it ever since. It's just a great ride all the way around. I think...
it's a classic.
Yeah, it's definitely a classic. And I think kids of all ages can ride it because it's not terrifying. I mean, if they're afraid of the dark, I can understand.
Yeah.
But once they get in there and they ride and see everything, I think it's a good ride. So.
Yeah, it's an awesome ride. My top 5 is Rock and Roller Coaster. I just love it. When you go before you go to get on the coaster, right there they have a hologram of Aerosmith and his crew come out there and just start talking to you and stuff. Yeah. And how he just wants to come and give you guys backstage tickets. And
how about some backstage passes?
Yeah. And then after that, then you go to get on the ride, and then when you're sitting in it, you're actually in like a stretch limousine, and you're listening to all different kinds of Aerosmith music.
Yeah.
And and I'm big on roller coasters. I love the roller coaster and how fast you go on this ride.
Yeah.
I mean, you just come up and you get ready, and it counts it down like ready, set, go, and you just fly. It's like you're 60 mile an hour, like it's nothing. Mm-hmm. And just how on the inside where the things glow in the dark, and then you go upside down, and I just love it. It's a great ride.
It is. I would agree.
Yeah, I actually remember this ride from when I was 16, and that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. And I actually used to have a set of drumsticks that you could get from that ride in the souvenir store.
Yep, they still sell those.
I wonder if I still have those somewhere packed away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great ride. I will agree. Great choice. It did not make my top 5, but it is still a fantastic ride. So.
Thrill.
Yeah, it is definitely a thrill ride. Let's move on to number 4. And my number 4 is Slinky Dog Dash. And I know anything like, why is it not higher on my list? I love Slinky Dog since the first time we rode it. It's just a great ride. Just a great addition to Hollywood Studios as a coaster. It's for children of all ages that meet the height requirements.
Yep.
I took our 2-year-old niece on it 2 years ago, and she was kind of just a bit scared. And I think it was because she was just like, she met the height requirement, but she was shorter to where she couldn't see everything of what was going on. And I think that really kind of freaked her out. But other than that, I think that she'll definitely like it next time.
Yeah.
Because she's going to go this year as well. So she'll be almost 4 when she goes. So it's a great ride. I love Toy Story. Toy Story is like one of my top, favorite Disney movies. So I definitely love Slinky Dog. So
yeah, it's a good one. Just with everything that they have outside of that with it. And, I mean, just some of the stuff that you get to see while riding. It's nice.
Yeah, and I like that there's 2 takeoffs. So like, you'll start out and you'll stop and take off, and then somewhere in the middle of the ride you'll take off again. And I really like that.
Yeah.
It's just a great ride.
It's almost like Slinky's. They're pushing them back to get them wound up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then woo!
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, it's really, really cool.
So my number 4 is Soarin'. And I mean, Soarin' it's awesome.
Yep.
It's you come. First of all, they can fit. It's like 90 people for one ride, and it's probably a 5-6 minute ride.
Yeah.
But it just takes you around the different countries of the world, and it gives you different smells. You get to get. I mean, it's just awesome when you go in there to look at it, and I mean, it's just you're going up, and it's like you're flying, and it's fun.
Here's a question for you. Do you like Soarin' Around the World better now than it was before they changed it when it was just the U.S.?
Yeah, I do actually.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I like, you get to see the Taj Mahal, and you get to see, is it the pyramids they go around, and then you get to,
the pyramids.
Yeah, and see the Eiffel Tower at night. That is my favorite. I love that.
And then how they do the fireworks and make it look like it's a hidden Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's classic too. I like it. Okay, and so on to number 3, and you guys might be super shocked at this, but my number 3 is Flight of Passage, and I love Flight of Passage. I've only ridden it one time. Ridden or rode, I don't know how you say that, but I've only rode it one time, and I liked it. Okay, I didn't like it. I loved it so much that I cried a little bit because I just thought that it was so cool. Like, you literally felt like you were in, Pandora where they live and everything. Yeah. And just feeling the breathing of the Banshee, I just felt like it was like an out of this world experience that you would never get to experience, ever.
It's like a virtual tour.
Yeah, it's almost like, if you've never rode it, it's almost kind of like Soarin', only you are sitting on a Banshee, and you can feel it breathing, you can feel the wings flapping, you can smell the smells when you go through. You're actually diving on, a Banshee. You're diving on a Banshee, and like you dive like everywhere and just soar, and it's just really, really fun.
Yeah.
So, that's my number 3.
So, funny thing is, my number 3 was Flight of Passage too.
Is it?
So,
okay.
But I mean, like what she said, we waited 2 years to ride this ride, and we finally got to ride it.
In September, we rode it.
In September when we rode it.
Yeah.
I mean, just the other times, it was just a long wait time when we went.
Yeah.
And we didn't, not saying that we ever would or wouldn't, but we just, at the time, we didn't want to wait 2 hours or 3 hours to ride the ride. Or when it did get down to like 60 minutes, I can remember it was like time for us to pretty much go to eat our dinner. Mm-hmm. So, and we had a reservation at that time. So
yeah, I do love Flight of Passage. It's so awesome.
Flight of Passage, it's great. When you first come in, how they want to get you to how to get your hair to become one with the Banshee, and just everything that goes into it. They really went off of like in the movie. If you've ever seen the movie, they want to get all that into configuration. And then one of the other things that I love about it too, about the ride, is when you're done after when you get into the souvenir shop, how it has to where you can create your own avatar.
Yeah.
And I believe it's like $75 to $100, and it could be more than that. But I do know it is up there, and maybe one of these years we will do that just to see what it's about. But that to me, along with that ride, that just shows you so much more of what Disney is putting into the rides as well.
Yeah,
not just doing the ride and that's it. It's, hey, we want to get you to do this as well, to see what it would look like if you created an avatar. So I think that is something that's pretty cool too. And then they also have the little Banshee toys in there that you can also buy.
Yeah.
So that's as well. That's why it's not my top 3. So.
Yeah, and also like next time we go to Disney, I just want to do more exploring in Pandora.
Yeah.
I just want to like take our time in Pandora and see things that we haven't seen. I feel like we're really just on the go, and that's going to be part of our trip in October. It's just taking our time and looking around at details that we haven't really noticed because we've been on the go. So.
Especially for you guys, we want you guys to see all the detail things.
Yeah.
And not just, oh, look at this over here and look at that over there.
Yeah, we're gonna try to not be so choppy on our vlogs, but we'll get it down pat. So.
Yeah.
But moving on, you go ahead and list your number 2.
So my number 2 is Test Track, and I really had a hard time with my number 2 and number 1, because I love them both. Test Track, my number 2, because what guy out there doesn't want to design their own car? I mean, want to see how great it does, how awesome it looks, how, whether I want it to be a muscle car or a monster truck.
Yeah.
I want that diesel engine there, or that supercharged diesel engine, or that horsepower with a gas engine in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then I want to see how it does. So, and then when you get to go outside and you're going 64 mile an hour on the track, I mean, I love it.
Test Track's a good
it's
one.
Awesome.
It is a good one. I will agree. I like designing my own car as well, even though I don't really know what I'm doing performance-wise. I just go for looks. I try to make it look as cool as possible.
Purple all the time.
Yeah, I always pick purple, but you can pick the color next time, I guess. But that's usually how we do it. You do all the engines and
all the mods and everything.
The
so
modifications, and then I normally pick the color and the wheels and all that good stuff. So it's just a fun ride. Definitely would ride it if you haven't ever rode it. So
and it can get up there to where you are waiting in line a lot, but I mean not only that though, the reason why I do love it too is at the end of the ride you get to see all of the new Chevy vehicles, from the Corvette to the Equinox to the Silverado to the Colorado to the Blazer,
all the Chevy models.
All the Chevy models.
Yeah.
You open them up, you can sit in them, take your pictures with them, see how much this one would cost. I mean, it is just awesome that they have that.
You can sit in all the things that you're not able to afford. So, and you can also, they have like the cooler models up there by the screens where you can get your picture taken with them. All you gotta do is scan your Magic Band, and they'll be on there, or your card, either one for your photos. So, it's definitely a great choice. I love it too. It didn't make my top 5, but that's okay. I still love it. So
it's a good one.
My number 2 is Living with the Land, and you guys are probably thinking again, like, what? No way. If you don't Flight of Passage. But I love Living with the Land because every single time you go in there, you see something different. You know, well, for us anyways, we don't have the annual pass, and we don't get to go like, you know, once a month. So, you know, I feel like every time we go in there, it's a different experience, whether they're growing Mickey pumpkins, or the lettuce is in a Mickey shaped, or, you know, there's just so many things growing different ways, different techniques of growing things. And I love boat rides. They're awesome for me. I love boat rides. And I would say that living with the land just brings back a nostalgia for me of being younger and living with the land, because my grandma, we always had to ride it, even though it wasn't our favorite at the time being younger, because we were all about the thrill.
Like, oh, man.
But I love living with the land.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think it's also cool living with the land because you can see
Garden Grove.
Yes, Garden Grove at the beginning of the ride, so you can look up there and see. Sometimes you can see the characters, so that's cool.
Go ahead with your first.
I've been doing mine. You go first.
All right, so my number one is Kilimanjaro Safari. So, and the reason is I love the animals. I love seeing them all. And when one of these days I'm gonna catch that king roaring, whether it's early morning or late at night.
Didn't he do it last time?
No, I think he just opened up his mouth.
Okay.
So we
He
saw
was
him
like
yawn.
yawning. Yeah.
That's like my favorite animal of all time is the lion, and I'm just because of the power that they have. I mean,
He's the king.
yeah, he's the king. But no, I'm real big on animals. I love all of them. I love seeing them all, and you know, with the warthogs, the rhinos that they have, the giraffes, the baby giraffes that, you know, and I mean, I feel like our last one that we went on, we got real close to the giraffes.
Yeah, and didn't they just have a baby something at Animal Kingdom?
A baby zebra.
Yeah, baby zebra.
Yeah, and they also had a baby porcupine as
Aww.
well, I do believe.
I've never seen it. I don't think I've ever seen a baby porcupine. I bet it's cute.
Yeah, it was like a tan color.
Yeah.
So, but that's mine.
Yeah, I like the safari too. Do not get me wrong. I feel like, once again, you know, every single time that you get to ride the safari, you get a different experience.
Yep.
You know, some animals want to come closer to your vehicle than others at times. I think it also depends on the time of day that you go. You know, we just do it whenever we can get a fast pass normally. Or just whatever works for us. We haven't really timed it as to where, like, oh, we got to go in the morning or you got to go in the evening.
Yeah, we haven't timed it like that.
But maybe if we did, we might see more animals. But I don't feel like we've had an issue seeing animals, because I feel like they're always out and about. I feel like we always have a great experience with the giraffes there.
Yeah.
The giraffes are like always crossing the pathway or coming up close to the vehicles, and things like that.
Yeah.
So.
And then, not only that, there's one thing that I've always wanted to try there with that ride. And I don't know if it's something or not, and you guys could let us know if you do know, is there's some kind of backstage tour or something that I think you can do, because when you're out there, there's some kind of like canopy or something where you can sit. I don't know if you get to have a lunch or something out there with them or what, and I need to look into more of that.
I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest.
It's out in the safari. You have to be actually looking for it. It's like a big old patio or something like that.
Oh.
But I don't know if that's even something that you can do. But to me, why would they have a patio out there if you can't? It's just like just like a big patio or a big bar.
I don't think I've ever seen it, to be honest. So, my number one is Splash Mountain. And I love Splash Mountain because I love boat rides, for one. I don't love getting soaked unless it's super hot out, I will tell you that.
Oh no, hey, you're sitting on that side so you can get more soaked.
I don't feel like it matters what side you sit on. I feel like it matters where you sit in the boat. Like, the front always gets soaked if you have the most weight in there. Last time we got lucky and we were in the back, so. But I love it because, one, the nostalgia of it. Splash Mountain's been there for a long time, and I've loved it ever since I was a kid. And also, I just love it because it's a long ride. Like, it's not like, 2 minutes and you're done. It's like, it's a long ride. You get to enjoy just enjoy everything and relax on it. And, I love the part where you go down a hill in the dark and it's kind of like a coaster area.
Oh, yeah.
I love that part of that. And
if you're not ready for it.
yeah, it's really cool. I love Splash Mountain. I don't know. It's always been my favorite. I love the music, the Zippity Doo-Dah music, and it's a great one for me as a kid, and that's the meaning to me of Walt Disney World is Splash Mountain. I have to ride Splash Mountain, and unfortunately, when we went
she does.
in January, it was being refurbished. But we know that now they're refurbishing Splash Mountain in the winter months, which makes sense.
But let me tell you, she would still ride it if she was able to.
I probably would have, yeah, even though it was chilly. I probably would have because I just love it. And so that is my number one. But we do have 2 more honorable mentions that we have, and this one for me almost made my top 5. And my number 6, so the honorable mention, is Pirates. And it actually hurt my heart a little bit that it didn't make my top 5 because I was like, okay, I'm really, really undecided here. Like, we wrote our list like 3 or 4 times because we just could not decide these rides. And it's just so hard because every ride at Disney is a good ride. I don't know a bad ride at Disney.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, there's not a bad ride. I mean, there are rides that you feel sick on, if you're opposed to going in circles a lot. But.
Everest.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about that one, but we just...
When we rode Everest last time, we rode it 2 or 3 times because there were no
right
lines.
In a row. And it was, when we go backwards, the G's that it gives you is just, the G-force that it gives you is just...
I felt like my eyeballs are going to pop out of the sockets, to be honest.
And I don't think, did we eat anything?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, that's, yeah.
And then my next honorable mention was People Mover, and People Mover is just a classic. Something you can go and relax on, kick your feet up on the seat. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys seen pictures where people take pictures of their feet on the other side, because they're relaxing on the People Mover. It's a great way to cool off and a great way to...
Take a breather.
Yeah, and it's also cool if you are not a person that rides Space Mountain, you can see inside Space Mountain and see the coasters go up the hills, so it's really cool.
So my next 2 honorable mentions were, my number 6 was Peter Pan. And Peter Pan, you're flying in that one. I mean, and you just get to go around London with it. And not only that, it's when you're not in the Fast Pass line and you go through the standby line, all the stuff that they have inside of there that you get to go through, how you see Peter's room, Wendy's room, Tink flying around in there.
Yeah.
And, it's just all the detail that Disney puts into their rides that they have with everything, and just makes every single ride there that much more. Where you just can't believe, like, holy cow, this, they really went all out. Like, it's just not just going to the ride, it's going through, their house.
Yep.
So.
Definitely. I agree.
And then my number 7 was the People Mover. So, and it's just like she said, it's just one that you can kick back and you get to see, different things that you normally wouldn't see on ground.
Yeah.
When you're in the air, the things that you get to see, a different side of the castle, and you get to see what they have going on there now, the Tron production, the new Tron coaster going on.
Yeah.
You can be seeing that really good, and just a great ride to relax on.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
And it's real nice when we got to ride it during the dark.
Oh yeah, that was neat.
So that was a good one.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. If you want to comment your top 5 down below and maybe your honorable mentions, that would be awesome. So we can kind of compare our list. I'd like to see what you guys picked as well to see how it matches up with our list. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our channel, and then comment on your favorite rides.
Absolutely.
So, we'll be coming to you soon with a different video. And it'll probably be one from home because we're, of course, quarantined. So, with that said, we'll see you guys later.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.